Welcome back to another video. My name is Alex and we will be looking at Bitcoin today and the price of Bitcoin and where we can see it heading towards. So to begin with, we can see that it has found support right here in this trend line, and we can see that it has been respecting it. So we can see that it's a valid trend line because we got one touch, two touch, and three touch, and now it's respecting it. It seems like it wants to go higher. As long as it hasn't broken under, Bitcoin is still bullish, even though we saw this massive sell off that happened over here in the past couple of days. What we can see is that maybe the trend is back to shifting to a lower high, back to a lower low, back to a lower high, and creating a lower low, and it could come and create a lower high around this area of the resistance, which we can see based on this channel that we have drawn over here. We have multiple touches, which means it's a respectable channel, and we just have to wait. I feel like it will begin to wedge between this trend line and the midway point of the channel to do a bigger move, either push up higher or push up lower. But for the meantime, it is looking really bullish. So that's one area I wanted to show you guys. And if we zoom out, this is the channel that I'm showing you guys on a broader picture. This is on a 4-hour time frame. If we go to the daily time frame, it's looking the same. So we finally got the break. We finally got the break of the midway point of the channel towards the bottom. So now we are confirming a downtrend, as I said before, making this lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. It could continue to go down, but as long as this trend line is being respected, it has a good probability and chance that it may continue the uptrend. It was a false breakout here once we got this break, but it never came to retest that area. So and because of that, it created major uh a downfall. As we can see, all the times it's broken over, we see some kind of retracement to retest the support, the resistance that was there, in order to continue the trend higher or lower. As we can see here, it broke under and we saw the retest to continue the downtrend. Here we can see it broke over. We see a retest on that wick to continue going higher. And the same thing we can see here. So here we finally got the break over higher. We didn't get any sort of retest. So that meant that it was there was just no stability in the price of Bitcoin. It just kept going up, going up. And the same way it went up, the same way it went down. So now we finally got the break of the midway point towards the downside. We could get a retest of the midway point of the channel for the continuation to keep going down. If it eventually breaks this trend line, the more touches it has, the weaker it begins to get. So it could become bearish, but for the meantime, if we get a break over and a retest over the midway point, we could continue Bitcoin seeing the price going higher and higher. I want to show you guys this other chart I have as well. This is other channels that represent major points, pivot points, swing points in the price of Bitcoin. As we can see here, the top was at 75, around 76,000, and all these channels are really respectable channels. And I have the same trend line drawn here. If we go lower time frames, the 4-hour time frame, we can see that Bitcoin is respecting it the same way. This major channel, and these channels are really respectable. Once we see a break and a retest, either to the upside or to the downside, that's where I decide to enter trades. So right here we got the break towards the upside. We got a retest. We entered trades. It didn't. It we were in profit, but as we can see, there was a break back under, and that's when we decided to enter sales. We were not expecting this big sell off, but we were able to capture that just based on the channels. And now we can see that this channel has held as support in this area, and it is having a really hard time breaking. It's wanted to break it, doesn't break it. It's wanted to break it, it can't break it. Over here again, wanted to break it towards the downside, and it could not break it. And what does that happen when it can't break it and it goes back into the channel? Same thing that happened here. It broke it and it came back, and it Bitcoin tried to push the price higher. The It tried to go higher, but once we saw this major wick, another major wick, and we saw the break back under, we saw that it came back down, right? So what are we seeing? We're seeing really similar price action in this area as well. We see a major wick, another major wick trying to push the price down, and it just couldn't be able to do it. So we could see similar price action just now reversing. So Bitcoin would be going bullish, and that's another signal that I wanted to point out to you guys. And trading is simple, so we're trying to keep this the most simple as possible. We can also see another, if we were to do this trend line, it becomes valid. Why? Because we get one touch, two touch, a third touch around here, a false breakout, and we see the break over here. We could see a retest in this area that it came to retest around those major wicks that happened, and it's starting to push up. So for the meantime, as long as Bitcoin is over the channel, is over the trend line, Bitcoin is looking bullish, and we are in bias positions as we speak right now. We entered buy at the channel. Once we saw this major wick off, we entered the trade, and now we are in buys. And our first take profit will be around the area of 61,400. That's a major area. We can possibly see a head and shoulders being played out by seeing this shoulder over here, the head over here, and maybe a possible shoulder for the continuation of a downtrend if it decides to break over these channels, and we could see Bitcoin head towards more bearish momentum. But for the meantime, I say it's bullish. If I'm hoping we can get the scenario where it breaks over this midway point. We finally get a good retest in order to continue the buys and push the price of Bitcoin higher and higher. This is what I wanted to show you guys. This is today's update. If you guys are interested in seeing more videos like this, leave it down in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. And thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one.